Hi there, welcome back to the channel, Living Life on Less. My name is Liz, and this video is our No Spend January 2023 outline and plan. We're going to do a No Spend January in our house for several reasons. One, we've never done one before. I think the longest we've actually gone without spending is about 10 days. So, not spending any money for 31 days, especially after a spendy Christmas, because even if you have a lean Christmas, you always end up spending a little bit more money than most other months, will be good for us. We also feel it's time to sort of use up all the old stuff, get down the bottom of our freezer. I don't think we've done that since we moved nearly a year ago. And we'll not only will save some money, that will be going towards having our bathroom redecorated and smartened up. It's a little bit old and a little bit tired, so as we go around the house doing room by room, we should be doing it as prudently and as sensibly as possible. And it'll also boost our resourcefulness and creativity by having to look and make do and mend with what we do have. Now, we're not going to include, we have an 11-year-old daughter, we're not going to really include her within our nurse spend January. She has her own allowance and she'll decide how that is spent. However, I have let her know that we're having a nurse spend January, and I think it'll be good for her so she's aware of how to budget, how to cut back when necessary. And it just be another skill to her bow when she's older. If she knows that, you can actually spend periods of time without spending money and still be fulfilled. And I think that's really important when we're living in such a consumerist society as we are. The most important thing I think about the no spend January, if you're going to do it, is you make the rules that suit your family, your situation, and your household, and don't follow anybody else's rules. It's what works for you and what will work best for you. Our no spend rules for January. Number one, all necessary bills are going to be paid. They are not included in the no spend, and that is utility bills, insurances, any pet related expenditure, council tax, and any business related expenditure. Number two, we're going to pause any subscriptions for the month. Now, the only actual subscription I can think of that we use that isn't business related would be our Canva subscription, which we use to edit and make these videos. And we're going to pause it for the month and just have the basic free package, which it just means really less access to less videos and GIFs and photographs and audio. It doesn't actually limit any of your editing abilities, which is good. So that'll be a temporary pause. Number three, on the last day of the month, the 31st of December, we're going to buy a full tank of fuel, and that's going to last us up until the 1st of February. Now, we do live out in the sticks a little bit. However, we don't have to commute to work every day. Any of our income streams are all based from working from home. My little girl goes to school on a school bus, and that's just included in sort of one of her spends. So that won't be included in the nurse spend. That's already bought and paid for. So the fuel in general, as we won't be going shopping that often, will hopefully sit in the car for most of the month, and the car won't be getting used quite as often. We'll certainly be looking at ways of getting around using the car, unless the weather's particularly bad. That'll definitely save on fuel. Number four, no binge buying ahead of January no spend. So this sort of week running up to the end of the year, we're not going to do any binge buying, for example, getting gallons and gallons of milk to put in the freezer or bread or whatever to last us. What we've got, we want to use up. And we have we call an emergency pantry or a long time store pantry, which has products and foods in that store for quite a few years. Our little way of beating inflation, and we don't plan on going into that pantry, is basically from the pantry that we use every day, going down and using all those goods. I'm sure there'll be a few recipes and a few strange ones at that we have on the channel towards the end of the month when we've not got a lot left. But no binge buying ahead of January no spend. Number five, no money is to be spent on anything other than emergencies. And we'll really try and stick to this. We do appreciate and realise that emergencies can happen, whether it's a burst pipe or a prescription that needs filling or a filling that needs doing on the tooth. So no money will be spent on anything. No leisure activities, no eating out, no extra quick trips to the shop to get 6 packets of crisps because we've run out for the packed lunch. When it's gone, and we have to make do and mend with what we've got. Number 6, £10 per week will be allotted for fresh fruit and vegetables for the wee one. And that's just to ensure she carries on getting lots of fresh fruit, really. We have some frozen fruit and some tinned fruit and some fruit in the fruit bowl, but I don't think the fresh fruit's going to last the full month. So £10 a week, that'll entirely be allotted to her for her fresh fruit and vegetable needs. We do have some potatoes and some root vegetables out the garden, but it's not going to have the same vitamins as things like apples and satsumas and oranges and bananas. So that's £10 for her. Number 7, as I said, we'll eat down the freezer and the pantry. We've also, as I said, we've got a few food stores from things out the garden, some dehydrated herbs and things to make bland foods a little bit more exciting. Number 8, we're going to get creative in all ways, and that will be having days out or leisure hobby times which really are costing us no money. And one thing I'm going to do is get the sewing machine out for January, and me and the little one are going to revamp some clothes. We bought her some books on how to sort of re-accessorize, rechange around and revamp clothes. She's heavily getting into that at the moment, so it'll be a good month for her to make some of her old clothes new again. Number 9, we're going to sew, repair, mend, fix if anything breaks, all going to go without. We can repurpose one item to maybe use as another item, but there'll be no buying or replacing for that month. And we may actually find by the end of January we didn't even need it in the first place. We've managed to make do, really well without it. So that saves money. And number 10, we're not going to waste the saved money, what we save. We're going to give it a job to do. And as I said, that will be the redecorating and smartening up of the bathroom, the upstairs bathroom. So that's the plan. So we've got something to aim for as well. I think if you've got something to focus on at the end of the day, it's more likely to keep you more in line with the challenge. If we were in debt, we'd definitely put it on debt first. We may save 10% of it and just pop it into a savings account. But there's plenty of things you can do if you save some money. You could maybe add more stores to your pantry, long-term stores. You could maybe put it towards a holiday. You could treat yourself. You could go bargain hunting, bargain shopping. You could put it all in the bank as savings. Wherever that saved money works best for you, apply it. But make sure you do give it a job so it just doesn't become easy to waste money. I'm using a diary I was given. I've already got an organizer, so I'm actually going to use a 2023 diary. So every day in January, when we save something or repurpose something or manage to go without something, I'm going to make a little note of that, just because it's going to be good to look back on, good to know what works, and good to know what didn't work for us. And also, I'm probably going to keep that up throughout the year. So it's also going to sort of be like a little financial reflection book, not so much the actual budgeting for the year, but just reflections on really what worked well and what we won't be doing again. And I think just to really go over the positives of a no spend month any time of the year, but January is particularly probably the best because of the expenditure of December that's just gone by. And it's lovely to have a nice fresh new year to go in there and do the best of everything. I think, the positives are we get to use up all the old stuff, we get to save money, we get to boost resourcefulness, and we get to complete a challenge. So, it ticks a lot of boxes. And I think it's setting a fantastic example to the wee one that we don't have to spend to enjoy. I'll leave a link below for our video, which is the things we are buying all of 2023. And we could probably even add a few extra things to those by now, as we've sat there and talked about, David and I, as we've talked about this challenge. So I'll leave that in the comments below. If you like our content, please like or share. Even better, subscribe, because it's great to have you around to join our wonderful community. And we'll be with you tomorrow with another video. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.